On this channel, we love to run numbers for people. I just got this request. He says, do mine. He saw somebody that I did somebody else's numbers, so he wanted me to do his. He says, 36 years old, 250,000 currently in the S&P, and contribute 30K a year into the market. If I retire at 55, will I have enough to last till I'm 90 with 70K withdrawal per year in today's money? Well, I'll be able to run some numbers for him, but I won't be able to complete it because I'm sure he's probably going to get Social Security and a pension, assuming he's going to have some other income. But I'm just going to go ahead and run the numbers with what he's given me. And what we do on this channel is we use the actual historical returns for the S&P 500 for the last 100 years, which he says he has that in the S&P 500, 250,000. We project ahead what similar returns might do for you in the future. The resulting numbers are simply a possible range of what may happen in the future. I want to go down to number 6. This channel is made for you as an aid, but don't rely on it alone in your financial planning. Spreadsheets, spreadsheets on this channel are simply tools to help you plan. He's given me a beginning balance, what he wants to contribute, and whether he wants to increase that or not. And we're going to go ahead and run that. He's 36, so I'm going to be running it for 19 years, which I'm hesitant to do it for a short period of time because you never know. Markets, these are the returns for the market. You don't know which 19-year period we're looking at. If we have a 19-year period like the 1930s and part of the 1940s, the numbers won't look too good. If we have returns like the 2000s, they're not going to look that good. But if we have it in the 80s and 90s, you can have a really good decade. But I'm going to go ahead and run the numbers for him. 250,000 shows you what we can do on this channel. 250,000, and he wants to contribute 30,000 a year, which would be 2,500 a month. Didn't say anything about increasing it, so I'm going to just go ahead and run the numbers. Again, what we do is look at what the S&P 500 has done for the last 100 years. We're going to be looking at the 19-year column. He's 36, so he's going to put in 820,000 by the time he's 55. Let's go ahead and run the numbers. 820,000. Over the last 100 years, the worst case scenario for a 19-year period would be 1.492 million. Again, these are the returns for the last 100 years for a 19-year period. The median in this column would be 3.55 million, and the best case scenario would be 9.367 million. I also want to take into account inflation. These amounts right here, if you take into account, I'll have to go ahead and do a 3% inflation rate here. These are the buying power of these amounts down here after 19 years. This 1.492 would have the buying power of 851,000. The 3.55 would have the buying power of 2,024,000. I've also color coded 99% of the time in the last 100 years. With these numbers, you'd have 1.5 million. It just one, you'd fall one short. But 59% of the time, you'd have 3 million, and 28% of the time, you'd have 5 million. So I just want to show you these numbers are just incredible. But when you take into account inflation, you got to realize these amounts would have lesser buying power in 19 years. But I also have a dilemma here. What do I run for the 55 to age 90? If I run the absolute worst case scenario, 851,000, let me show you what I'm talking about here. If I do 851,000 here, 851,000. And we take out, again, I don't know, he said 70,000 a year, which would be somewhere in the neighborhood of, I'll just do 6,000. That'd be 72,000. Does he want a COLA? Run a COLA? Do we want to have an asset allocation of maybe 70-30, 70% staying in the S&P 500, so when and 30% going over to cash reserve, so when the market's coming down, you're taking this 72,000 out of there. Again, he doesn't give me enough information. Also, is he going to get Social Security? If so, after the 10th year, will he get, average was 1907. That affects also how long your money will last from age 55 to 90. Does he get a pension? Also put that in. There's just too many unknowns for me to run the numbers very efficiently, but I wanted to run the numbers for him, so I'm going to go ahead and update this, see how many times he's run out of money, because he did say he wants to take out 70. Well, let's do 57. 5750, which would be 69,000. Let's go ahead and update this for every single year for the last 100 years, given this scenario starting out with 851,000, kicking in the Social Security in the 10th year, and it looks like a whole bunch of times you're going to be running out of money withdrawing 5750. Now, we took the worst case scenario, and right here, what if we would take the median? The median is 3.55 million, the buying power of 2,024,000. If I go ahead and change this to 2 million, which is more than twice what the worst case scenario, you see how I got a dilemma here, how to run the numbers for somebody that's so far in the future, a 36-year-old wondering. Now we're down to 3.45% withdrawal rate, which you're going to have no problem if we take the 2 million. Which one do I take? Age 55 to 90, you're not going to run out of money at all. If you take into account the Social Security kicking in, again, what amount are we talking about? Even if we don't take into account inflation or Social Security at all, if you get no Social Security at all, you're still not going to run out of money because the withdrawal rate is only 3.45%. Except in the 30th year, it looks like 1929. But which one do I take? Which one do I run from age 55 to 90? Do I take the 851,000, the buying power of this amount right here? Do I take the 2 million? How about if we just do a 1.5 million? 1.5 million. Again, you see, I don't have near enough information. I don't know if he's going to get Social Security. Let's go ahead and update this. 1.5 million. That's a 4.6% withdrawal rate, which there are going to be the times in the last 100 years you'd run out of money with that scenario. How many times? Just 4%. Here's the actual graph of it. During the Depression years, you would have run out of money. But every other scenario, you're just fine with the 1.5 million. Which one do I take? Again, do I take the worst case scenario in the last 100 years for a 19-year period? Do I bump it up to the median? And also, do we kick in a Social Security? There's too many unknowns here, but hopefully in this scenario, I've shown you what we can do on this channel, but we're way too far out to know if you're going to run out of money. Again, without more information, is he going to go Social Security? If so, what age is he going to get it? Is he going to take it at 62? How much will he take this 62? Because that knocks down the amount you're taking out. Are we going to do a 3% COLA? Are we going to do an asset allocation of 70-30? That shows you all kinds of scenarios that we can do, but there's incomplete information here from me planning something so far in the future. For a 36-year-old, we can project what he might have in 19 years at age 55, but to go much beyond that is just I have way too little information. Again, is he going to get Social Security? Is he going to get a pension? Which number do I use here? Do I use a worst case scenario or not? But that's what we do on this channel. We run different numbers for people. In this case, I don't have near enough information to give him a complete picture of what he might want to know for the money lasting until age 90 from 55. Please consider subscribing to this channel. Please share this channel with others. Let them know there's a channel out there that run numbers. Again, I need more complete information to answer this individual. Please like the video and thanks for watching.